Hey guys! Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Floorplan challenge where I am building the up house this time. So in the last part you saw me creating the outside of the house and now we're focusing on the inside of the house and the garden. So it's going to be a very fun part. And for the people who don't know, the Floorplan challenge is a video where I am using an existing floor plan and building a house around it. So this time I actually found the floor plan for the movie Up, the house that's in that movie. I found the floor plan for that, so I'm using that to create this house, but I'm also using like pictures of the house itself. So there's some things that I'm changing from the floor plan that I have, if that makes any sense. And then you also just saw me moving around the house a little from the outside, just because when I put in the stairs I noticed that I didn't have enough room on the inside. Now I'm putting in the kitchen, and the kitchen was actually supposed to be green on the top, but all the green counters in The Sims are just very ugly. Those colors are awful. I didn't want that in my house, so I changed it to a blue because it sort of gives the same feel, it's just a different color. And also like the little cabinets on the wall, I never used those, so I didn't even know that you had like different categories. You can click on the little like spinning wheel and then you can actually choose which one you want. I didn't know that, and I've been playing The Sims for like a year, so I guess I'm still learning. It was a bit of a challenge creating the inside of this house because on the floor plan it actually had a lot of details. All of the furniture was laid out, everything was on there. But then sort of transferring that to The Sims and getting it to look the same as it did in like the real house. I mean, it's not a real house, but like in the movie. Admittedly, I haven't seen the movie in a really long time, so I didn't know everything. But I do kind of know the feel of the house since it is like an old-fashioned house. So I sort of went with that, and I also think it looks very cute and happy, at least from the outside, so I sort of wanted to take that with me into the inside too. And that's sort of what I was thinking when I was creating this house, and sort of what the feel of this house is going to be. So it actually took me a really long time to make this house, just because I'm like a really big Pixar and Disney and all of that fan, and I just wanted to do like the movie and this house justice. So it took me like an hour and a half or something like that to do the interior of this house, and mostly that's like my quickest thing to do. So normally it takes me like 20 minutes. And this time I took like an hour and a half, but there was also like a lot of detail. Normally I just do like a ceiling lamp and that's it, and this time I had like little like nightstand lamps and like all different types and shapes, and it's like one of those houses that isn't supposed to be like symmetrical. Is that a word? I'm not sure. So everything looks different. It's like there's not like one type of couch. There's like different chairs, and there's like different lamps, and there's the different types of tables, and everything looks a little bit different, and that sort of gives it its charm too. It looks kind of messy but put together at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense. And one of the things I changed from the original floor plan that I used is the flooring in the kitchen, because using like the little square tiles in the entire kitchen and in the dining room and all of that was just a little too much for me, so I like limited it to the kitchen only, and I think it looks really cute. It looks very similar to the thing that was on the floor plan, so I'm happy with that. Putting in cheats. BB move objects is like our best friend. I think every single house creator uses that cheat. It's just like you just kind of have to. So now I was looking around like the little things you could put in the house, like decorations, and I was looking for like old-timey things just to put in the house, even though it might have not been on the floor plan itself. And some of these items are just like a replacement for what we don't have in The Sims. There's some items on the floor plan that we don't have in The Sims, so I replaced them with some different items that we do have in The Sims. And can I also get a round of applause for remembering to put in a sink in the kitchen? Because I always forget to do that, and I don't know why, because that's like the most normal thing to put in a kitchen. It's not like really weird to put in a sink in a kitchen, but I somehow always forget. So now I'm working on this like little study area on the ground floor or whatever it's called. There's like a dining area, a kitchen, a study area, a living room, and then the little hallway that leads upstairs. And then upstairs there will be like a bathroom, a children room. I'm not sure. I think that's like a story thing in the movie, and I just forgot because it's been a long time. It's like the master bedroom. There's like a little room that I wasn't sure what it was supposed to be, so I kind of turned it into like a cute workshop place. I'm not sure why I did that. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but I did it anyway, apparently. And then there's also... what's upstairs? That's it, I think. It's like a really cute hallway, but that's basically it. Okay, so one of the things that wasn't in the floor plan, because it's like a top-down view or whatever that's called, are the walls. So choosing the wallpaper and all the wall decorations was completely on me. I didn't have anything to influence me on that one. So for the dining room, I went with like a sunflower theme. I don't know if that's a normal thing to do, but the walls are like yellow, and then the curtains are like green with like a yellow flower. I guess it's a sunflower. I'm not sure, I couldn't really see. And then for the kitchen, I went with like an old-timey diner style. Then for the rest of the house, I kind of just went with cute old-looking wallpaper, kind of like you're walking into your grandparents' house. That's sort of the feeling I went with. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you see what I mean. Like what you're seeing right now, that's like the little wooden paneling on the bottom, and then you have like the flowers on the wall, like wallpaper. I think it looks like old, like vintage. I'm not sure. So, like, one of the most, like, iconic scenes, at least in my mind, from the movie, from, like, the beginning, is them sitting in the chairs, and, like, they're different chairs, and, like, holding hands while they're reading books and stuff like that. It's so cute, and I really wanted to find chairs that actually look like that, because that's, like, an image that's stuck in my head from that movie. I think I did a pretty good job. It's not like exactly the same thing, but I mean, what do you expect? It's The Sims. It's not like, unless I downloaded or created custom content, it's not like they took inspiration from the Up movie specifically, so there wasn't anything that looked exactly like it, but it somehow sort of looks like it, which I'm already very happy with. And I'm also very happy that there's like a little thing that you can put your feet on. I think it's actually a thing to sit down on in The Sims itself, but it looks like a thing you can put your feet on, which is good because that's something they had in their living room. And I'm very glad that I found something that sort of looks like that. And I also put a bookcase in the living room, even though that's not... I don't think that was in the floor plan, I'm not sure. Maybe one of the things meant a bookcase and I just looked over it. Because sometimes it's like, there's a square. And I'm like, okay, so what's the square supposed to be? I'm not sure. But anyway, I put a bookcase in the living room just so they have some more things for fun. Because they have some music things around the house, like stereos and like the little old-timey thing in the corner there. Where I'm just putting in the lamp next to it, like a second ago. So they can listen to music for fun. But I also wanted them to have more things to do for fun, so I also put in a bookcase so they can read some books. And I think they also read books a lot together in the movie, so that's something that should be there. And I also just switched to nighttime just to see where some lighting was needed, because there's a lot of windows in this house, so if the light is like it's daytime, you don't really see where some lamps should be. And I actually tried really hard to not only use the ceiling lights, but actually use like one of like the small ones and like the standing ones that you see there next to the dining table. And so there's lots of different variations, and I there's not like a lot of lamps that look the same. And now I'm just working on the staircase, which means that we're actually going upstairs and moving on to the second part of this build. So I think the downstairs, and I don't want to like, I mean, like I say these things and then I'm like, I probably shouldn't say this, but because maybe they'll stop watching. But I think the ground floor is better than my like upper floor. I still think like the floor upstairs is really cute. It's just less cute. I think the hallway is really nice. Bathrooms I'm horrible at any time. Then the bedroom was kind of a problem because it was way smaller in my build than it was in the floor plan. So they had like all sorts of things in the bedroom that I couldn't fit. I could only fit a bed in there. So it was kind of boring, really. Just literally only a bed and then 2 night tables with like lamps on it. That's it. So I think the hallway is really cute. Then we have the bathroom, which I'm terrible at. The children room, I think it looks pretty cute. But I did change a lot of that just because we didn't have most of the items we didn't have, and I mean it was pretty empty for some reason, I don't know. And then the little workshop thing is just weird. So I'm really selling this video now, aren't I? So since I've already kind of explained what I'm doing with the first floor, I could probably talk about something else right now. So one of the things that happened today was that I actually had one of my first like driver's lessons, whatever it's called. And I thought it would be not so nice, but it actually turned out to be pretty cool. It was actually pretty fun to do, so yeah, that surprised me a lot because I thought it was going to be awful and that I was going to hate it, but I actually kind of liked it. I actually kind of liked driving too, which I thought would be very scary, but it was actually kind of fun to do. And I'm guessing that it will not be so much fun anymore after like a little while, when you need to perfect everything and make sure you can actually pass your driving test and all of that. It will probably suck. But right now I'm actually having more fun with it than I thought I would, which is good. In like the Netherlands, and I think most of the world, we drive it like a stick shift, whatever that's called. In America, I know they drive like, what's that called, like automated cars. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. I'm not very skilled in like my car vocabulary, so sorry. But it's actually kind of hard to learn because you need to do like a lot of things at the same time. So that's like the hardest part about it. But like other than that, other than like forgetting half of the things you need to do, it's actually kind of fun. And the funny thing is, like when I'm driving like 50 kilometers per hour, which is not that fast at all, we drive like twice as fast on like the highways, whatever that's called. That feels so fast when you're actually driving yourself for the first time. That's like so fast. And it's not that fast at all, but it felt like I was like racing someone, and or like, I mean, it was like a deserted road, and it was like a round shape, and I was driving really fast. At least it wasn't fast, but it felt like I was driving really fast, so I felt like I was like driving on a racetrack. It was actually kind of fun in a way. But then there was like a corner at the end, and then you had to like do all the things with like the braking and the things with your feet and hands, and then it gets confusing and your brain hurts. And did you guys see the thumbnail for this like mini series of videos? Because I freaking love that thumbnail. I'm not sure if I'm like allowed to say that for a thumbnail that I made myself, but I really love that. Love that thumbnail for some reason. I really like the balloons, and it sort of looks like the Up poster, like the movie poster, but then with my own house like flying up in the air, and the background is actually the clouds from the game. It's like Sims clouds that I edited to look more pink, because all of my thumbnails are like purpley pink tone. That's why I changed my channel art, because my channel art was actually green, and my thumbnails were changing from green bluish to purpley pinkish, because I like that more for some reason. So I had to change my channel art, but I really like my channel art now, so I'm glad I did that. I mean, I was okay with my like first channel art. I'm going around the house and editing in like paintings and posters and decorations on the wall, because that's something I meant to do. It's always something I do less, because when all the furniture is in, you can actually see where the sort of like the blank spaces are. I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll put a painting there. Sorry. Okay, so a fun story about blank space. In Las Vegas, we went to like a karaoke bar, and then at some point they didn't have anyone to sing anymore. So I was asked to go sing, like randomly picked from the audience. At least my table are, and then my family looked at me like, we are not going to sing, so you better get up there, because I'm actually sort of able to sing. I hate saying that, but I've been taking like singing lessons for, I don't know, like almost 3 years now, I feel like. So I actually sort of know how to sing. But nobody was expecting that, since I was picked from the audience randomly, so everybody was expecting me to sing out of tune, like completely, and I didn't. I did a bit, sort of, like, I'm not used to like the dry air conditioning, so my throat was very dry and I wasn't prepared, and excuses. So I wasn't like in my best shape, but I actually sang kind of okay, so I got like a really big applause, and it was pretty cool actually. I was sort of thinking about doing it, but then I was like, maybe not. I don't know what I could sing. But then I was chosen, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just going. And I went up to like the DJ and I said like, do you have anything Taylor Swift? Because I'm like a really big Taylor Swift fan, and she's really well known, so I felt like they should have something Taylor Swift, and I'll know what to do with that. So I'm just finishing up the garden right now. The only thing I did was like putting a fence around it. I don't have like the backyard stuff back, so I don't have picket fences, but if I did, I would totally put in picket fences, and then I put like trees around it. And that's really all that needed to happen. Like I put like a little like table outside so they could sit outside, and then I put some flowers on the front just for some details, but that's really all I did with the garden. I looked at pictures, and that's all I could see was just like a lot of trees around the fence and nothing else really, just some plants on the front. And I guess after the garden I went back to the like first floor and I put some windows there, because there weren't any windows there yet, just because it wasn't very clear from like the pictures, since the like first floor is actually like between the roofing pieces, which you can't do in The Sims. So I actually put some windows upstairs, because I would feel like an awful human being having someone live in a house with no windows upstairs. That sounds like a nightmare to me, so that's something I did. But after that, this video is basically done, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye!